Thank you very much, Olivier. Dear loyal guests, we started this day as a GCC convention hotel with full house and 5-star services. We are ending this day in a boutique hotel at the shores of the Lake of Geneva with 5-star services, hopefully, which can even be better than the large convention centers. So thank you very much for your loyalty and for being here. I'm very happy to address these few words about the Swiss hospitality. I have no slides, but as in hospitality, we need, in order to survive, we need to be able to tell stories. We need to be able, even more than in other industries, to be very good with our storytelling. And we're finding these stories in our roots. We're finding these stories in our history. We're finding these stories in order to develop emotions and linkages with our customers so that not only do they come, but do they come back, and do they consider that by coming back they're gaining some value out of this, and they are very happy to transfer this experience to their network, to their friends. And therefore, I will tell you a story. And this is the story of the Swiss hospitality. Don't worry, it's not going to last 125 years, because yes, it dates back to 1882 when the Swiss Hotel Association, Hôtellerie Suisse, was created at that time. Why am I saying this? It was created only because there were fantastic hotels, palaces, delivering beautiful services on the shores of all our lakes. Zurich, Lucerne, Lausanne, Geneva, Lake of Geneva, La Clément in good French. Yeah, this is a little fight which we have here in the region. And these beautiful hotels were delivering these services, but then they realized that actually they needed something more in order to continuously be able to deliver the services. Amongst others, and to start with, they needed to be federated. They needed to be organized so that they could eventually defend or have a party defending their interests, because the world was changing at that time. The tourists, which were coming mainly from the UK, moving through Switzerland, staying there for some months. Yes, life has changed. We're talking 3 days now, and these are beating records from GCC countries. At that time, it was months. They would be staying in our hotels. Then they would move on to the Orient, the trade route, and then going to Asia, finishing in China. This is how the Swiss hospitality has started, actually, with the first world mountain resort being St. Moritz. I don't know if some of you have known this, but this is how it started. And this is also the reason why Hôtellerie Suisse were founded, in order to federate these and defend their interests. Hôtellerie Suisse is not the only organization or association which is representing the interest of the hospitality industry as such. We have another one, as you hear in the word Hôtellerie Suisse, hotels. We have another one which is representing the restaurant interests, which is Gastro Suisse. So we have Hôtellerie Suisse, Gastro Suisse. And the linkage with Swiss tourism are very strong, and I will come up with some examples. These two associations are delivering pretty much the same services to their trade. They have been developed by the trade for the trade. And this is essential in Switzerland, to demonstrate that actually it is coming from the source, the root of the trade, to actually deliver services to this trade. And it's not coming from the government. So we are actually, if you want, self-sustained and developing our own principles of moving forward within a frame, a larger frame defined by the government and the strategy of the country, which is actually represented, what tourism is concerned, by Swiss tourism. If we're looking at the type of services which are being provided by Hôtellerie Suisse, first of all, we're talking about hotel classification. Now, hotel classification also has a story or history. It dates back to 1972, when actually the Swiss Hotel Association was the first one to develop a classification system, again based on the fact that hoteliers had the feeling that there were more and more products which were coming on this market, which were there, which were not organized, and which were not really allowing the customers to make the differentiation between one product to the other. Like currently, if we want to make an analogy, the spa industry. Fantastic spas. I hope that all of you have practiced spas back in the GCC countries, beautiful spas that are totally disorganized. Now you have the feeling you go in a spa, but actually you may go into a hammam, or actually you may go into a massage center, and as such, it may not be considered as a spa. So that was exactly... Yes. Yes, we all agree. Fantastic spas. And that was exactly the situation which we had in Switzerland, where we would have some, what we consider now is 2-star hotels, or 3-star hotels, or 4-star, or 5-star hotels, which actually were just hotels. And the customer would say, well, fine, what makes the differentiation? I don't know. I don't know. The price, situation, the people, the services I'm getting, help me. And this is why these classification systems were developed. And now it moved so much forward that Hôtellerie Suisse has become and has joined forces in 2007 with several European countries to develop the Hotel Stars classification system. And it's actually a founding member, if not the main knowledge contributor to the Hotel Stars classification system. It could be another analogy with the GCC reality. The Hotel Stars systems are moving slowly away from pure hardware. How many rooms does your hotel have? How many suites does it have? Does it have 1 restaurant, 2 restaurants, 3 restaurants? Well, this is still important. It used to be 80% of the classification. Now it's closer to 20-30%. The rest is the type of services you're getting, the level of education of the people who are delivering these services. You're getting plus points and you're getting minus points if the education you provided, or further education or training you're providing to your staff, is not appropriate with what is expected by the classification system. This is where the current European classification system are moving towards. Now the good news is, or maybe the bad news, is that from a classification system point of view, I'm very often asked all over the world, but give me the standards, give me the international standards. There is none. There is no international one standard. We have the Hotel Stars, then we have in America the Diamond system. But there is nothing such as to say, this is how we classify a hotel in GCC, in Switzerland, in America, in Asia. Doesn't exist. The largest current consolidated hotel classification system, actually in the world almost, is the European one with Hotel Stars. Could be another analogy or help for the GCC countries. Second service which is being provided by Hôtellerie Suisse to its members is its quality system, which actually is being done together with Swiss Tourism, and it's a Q label. So you have Q1, Q2, Q3. You don't have Q4 for the moment, but fine. Q1 and Q2 requires that the staff and the people who are in charge of implementing this quality system within the hotels are being trained according to specific standards, and that this training is reviewed on a regular basis, and that if you have this person leaving the hotel and moving away and working in a very interesting country for hospitality, which is could be UAE, could be Abu Dhabi, could be Dubai. Lots of our trained students are moving to GCC countries to actually work in hotels. Well done for that. So this quality system allows benchmarking to be done amongst the various hotels, and also allows to develop the necessity to train a certain amount of management people who are then transferring this knowledge down to the line staff within the hotel. So that's the second service which is provided by Hôtellerie Suisse. The third one is a regional benchmarking, which happens in the major cities and in the main regions of Switzerland, where these hoteliers, they meet on a regular basis under the umbrella and coached and guided by Hôtellerie Suisse to transfer, to exchange knowledge. What's happening? Where are the issues? Where do we need resources? Is there another part of Switzerland which may be lacking resources, another part which has too much resources? We're not talking financial resources here, we're talking human resources here. What are the skills which are being required? What is changing in Geneva as compared to Lausanne, as compared to Zurich, as compared to Lucerne? This is happening on a dynamic base. Helps then also not only to benchmark the systems and the procedures, but also to lobby the interest of the hoteliers towards the Swiss government. That is one of the fundamental roles of the Swiss Hotel Association, Hôtellerie Suisse, to lobby the interest of the hoteliers. Another service provided is, and it's quite a major one, is education. Education at different levels. In Switzerland has become very well known for its apprenticeship programs. Apprenticeship providing vocationally well-trained line staff who can then contribute to the wealth of any SME organization, not only the large ones. Within Hôtellerie Suisse, they provide to these apprentices which are working within the hotel sector, they provide school hotels, not hotel schools, school hotels, which are provided in low season and where the apprentices are being put in, and then you have instructors who are training them, guiding them, etc. Interesting practice exists for many, many, many years and has really proven to be very efficient if you have an apprentice program, of course. Another level of education which is provided, and we're going step by step, is undergraduate education. One level being with two schools which are owned by Hôtellerie Suisse. They are in the Swiss-German part, and they provide vocational education with diploma programs, 2 years diploma programs. These schools are accredited by Hôtellerie Suisse. Hôtellerie Suisse also has other schools which are accredited by them, which are in Australia, to say the least. One of them is in Australia. And then you have, after the diploma program, you have then the bachelor program and the master's education, which is provided at École Hôtelière de Lausanne. École Hôtelière de Lausanne is a private foundation which was founded by Hôtellerie Suisse. It's not owned by Hôtellerie Suisse, it's founded by Hôtellerie Suisse. I'll spend a little bit more time on École Hôtelière de Lausanne because then I'll make the link with GCC countries. École Hôtelière de Lausanne is the oldest hotel school in the world. Yeah, that's why on the marketing underneath it's written first in the world. Swiss Roman arrogance, call it the way you want, it's a reality. We were the first in the world. I can't change it, sorry. Well, we use it to our advantage. Since the creation of École Hôtelière de Lausanne, which is now quite many years ago, 1893, as I said, we have been respecting the key fundamental values which have made the success of this institution. It's 5 pillars. It's very simple. But we have never, ever considered that one of the pillars would be less important than the other one, and that we can actually cut costs or reduce our investments in one of these. The first pillar is the best students. You will say, yeah, but okay, guys, but Harvard is also attracting the best students. Everybody wants to go to Harvard. MIT is attracting the best students. Yes, but in 1893, yeah. What is a hotel school? What do we do there? Kitchen? Service? Housekeeping? Reception? Give me a break. Okay, so we had to build up what does hospitality do to you, and what does hospitality education do to you? So attracting and selecting the best students, it's not only the level of intelligence which they have. We even said once in one of our campaigns, it may even be that Einstein cannot come in. So we're looking for something else. We're looking for human beings. We're looking for human beings with characters, and mainly what we're looking for is human beings which can add value then after their studies to our institution in the long run. So we have some characters at École Hôtelière de Lausanne, but that is because we were looking for them. Strong individuals. Then the second pillar, the best faculty. Best faculty is not only because they have triple PhDs and they've been learning everything about one specific topic. No. We are looking, first of all, for a mix of academic knowledge and rigor and professional knowledge and rigor as well. So we're mixing our faculty so that together they're creating a stronger base for our students and share of experiences. Then we're also looking for, again, faculty which can add value to our institution, which we can send abroad, and they then understand what's going on within our trade and can talk and can even help doing the service in a restaurant or can help defining the strategy for a hotel chain. There are not so many here around. The third pillar is the best infrastructures. Now, the best infrastructure, this is something which actually can be considered as quite easy to do. Let's not forget one thing. First, we develop the education solution, and then we adapt the facility to the education solution, because the education solution is the way forward. This is the strategy. This will help us reach our vision, not the infrastructure. Infrastructure can be changed. Maybe another message to certain GCC countries. And here, I mean, for a small institution which has 2,000 students, we just finished an investment of 45 million Swiss francs, dollars, and we have another 10 years plan of 200 million further investments. Now, it's not because we have this money. It's just because we could build trust with financial institutions. And that is key to be able for us to move forward and be able to invest more for the better learning to our students and to the hospitality community worldwide. Fourth pillar, and I mentioned it already, is the curricula. Curricula, again, arrogance. We love to be copied. Please use our curricula. You will force us to change it on a regular basis. Because actually the curricula is just one of the 5 pillars, and it's the way you deliver the curricula, it's the values you represent within the institution, it's the facilities, the professors, the faculty, etc., which make the difference. Curricula is a mean. Not much more than this. The 5th pillar, and that is crucial, is the relationship with the industry. Now, it's not because we have on our board the best CEOs, chairmen of the hotel chains that we say that we have a good relationship with the hotel industry. What is crucial also to understand within the hotel industry or hospitality sector is not because you have contact with the CEO and he takes a decision that the hotel is going to implement it. The power lies at the hotels. The power lies within the units. It's exactly the same when you want to, and you claim you have a good relationship with the industry. We define any type of excuse to have our students confronted with the industry on a daily basis. Not only the industry talking to our students, but what we love above all, is that the industry is being challenged by our students. Because they're going to be the next leaders, hopefully, in the sector, influencing the development of this sector in various parts of the world, amongst others, in GCC countries where we have a very large network of alumni. So these are the 5 pillars on which École Hôtelière de Lausanne is built and has built its success. Now, École Hôtelière de Lausanne is not a vocational institution, it's a management learning institution, and our aim is to transfer talents to the hospitality industry so that they can then lead the hospitality industry. But the other aim is also that we develop innovative and creative solutions for the hospitality. And it's not just because we have systems or procedures, it's more through the fact that we try to put in place a mindset within the institution that the students feel free to make mistakes, to try and fail, but they only do the same mistake once, and they're learning from their mistakes. So it's 4 years. The education is for 4 years, and it's a building block type of learning experience, which at the end they actually come out as it's a school for life, as most of them say. They say, well, I started in a way, and you reshaped me as a new or a different human being with values which I never thought I will gain. Why am I telling you this? I mean, it's great. This is the Swiss solution. This is what we have in Switzerland. You will say, well done, guys. We don't have it. What can you do? What can be done? Well, all these principles, and I repeat, 1893, there was no hotel school. 1893, there were palaces. Reminds me a little bit of the beautiful five-star hotels, 200 rooms, 300 rooms, 1,000 rooms, which we are finding in the GCC, most of the GCC countries. This is the majority of the inventory which we have in the hotel sector in the GCC countries. So this reality we had. It will take you hopefully much less time to reach the level we have. Because what we see coming towards GCC countries in the hotel sector, in the restaurant sector, is that international travelers are looking for something else. Yes, they are looking for 5-star, 4-star. They're looking for chain hotels, yes, with a certain security or safety in the way the services are being delivered. They know what they're going to get. Yes, they're looking for this, but they're looking for also getting something out or from the hotel. Not only a service which they are expecting, but an emotion which they may not be expecting. And this emotion, and I'm coming back to the start of my story, these emotions, they can only be linked with the roots of the country you're in, which is the culture, which is the fundamental of these countries. Now, very interesting, we can see that slowly we are moving towards that direction. We have certain hotels which are developing in Saudi Arabia, trying to follow the Sharia principle. Now, they want our help to help them put in line the Sharia principle and standards with the international service standards. That's something which is new, which is happening within the hospitality industry. One thing. The other thing which is also new within the hospitality industry in the GCC countries is that there is, and only because customers who are traveling to the GCC countries are looking for something new, something else, something they experience in Europe, in Asia, in Americas. Boutique hotels, a closer relationship with the staff, considering the staff as a partner, a service provider at the same level, able to provide me with knowledge and expertise in his area. What is our area is service. I can't tell you how many students from École Hôtelière de Lausanne are stolen by the service sector. Is it 80% or is it 90%? I can't remember the latest figures. Service is something which is sought after by the service sector. We've heard the financial sector. We've heard the insurance sector. Service is key to the development of certain other industries which are also present in the GCC countries. By going through and representing these 5 key values of pillars, which I talked about before, you're actually developing human beings which can also have transferable skills and unique assets to other industries, which is the service sector. There are chains which are GCC-based chains. Let's talk about Jumeirah, let's talk about Rotana. These are the main hotel chains which have started small and are slowly progressing. What is also very interesting to see is that, well, at least one of them is considering developing new distribution channels. And these distribution channels is not only internet, is not only web-based, everybody is doing that. And not only social media, everybody is doing that. But it is to consider that if I establish a hotel with my brand, with my values, with my services abroad, I will then also be able, in a unique position, to represent these abroad so that abroad considers me and learns more about me. This morning, we heard Dr. Al-Zayani talk about learning. We need to learn more about the GCC countries. Well, this is one way of getting to know more and using the hospitality industry as the best platform to learn more abroad about certain key values of GCC countries. What we see now is that there are many sovereign funds out of GCC which are investing into the hotel sector in Europe. They're buying everything. And the largest properties, the most beautiful properties in Paris, in London, etc., are being purchased by these funds. Even in Switzerland, we have 3 hotels which currently belong to Qatari funds. But they are actually buying our story. It's not to buy us that they will then implement their story, your story. So what we see actually is, as a further development, is developing unique stories which are GCC based, which are rooted in GCC, and then developing all over the world, in Switzerland as well, hotels, hotel properties, restaurants, restaurant chains, which actually represent these stories. And these are new ways of looking at distributing your business and actually exporting your knowledge as well. But what will happen with these? There are new hotel chains, new concepts of hospitality which will come into place. There will be this attraction to develop cultural products and concepts that will require a new set of skills within the current labor, future labor, and workers which will be, and managers, which will be representing and operating these type of hotels. So when we're talking about new set of skills, the current reality of GCC countries in the hotel sector is that the line staff is coming from different source markets. In these source markets, they receive their education which is specific to their reality, and then they are being transferred to the GCC countries to operate according to international standards, even though I don't like this term, with certain common and neutral stories. What will happen in the future is that we will have new stories to tell, new standards. So there may be the need to actually develop education solutions offshore to then bring in these human resources and be more efficient, be able to tell these new stories, to create a new attraction and attractivity to the GCC market, to attract new customers, new tourists. That is one thing. That may be more for line staff. And then for the management, develop learning solutions within the GCC countries. But let's not forget one thing, 80% of the staffing of a hotel is vocational. And what we hear when we're going to your countries, we want a bachelor's degree education. We want a master's. Help us set up a master's program. Now, I haven't seen many master's programs who are willing to work in housekeeping. I haven't seen many bachelor students who are willing to start as cook, waiter. Well, they do it maybe for 6 months as an internship, then they say, thank you, I've seen it, got the t-shirt. Let's move on in life. And then we're losing them. So actually, yes, we need to invest in hospitality education, but more at vocational level. Management level, we don't need so many managers. And by the way, they are being trained in the 32 hotel schools in Switzerland. Yeah, 32 hotel schools. Far too much. And to finish off, I just would like to give you a little bit of our experience in this part of the world, because we're not just talking out of the blue here. 12 years ago, we've developed together with Jumeirah the Emirates Academy of Hospitality Management. So if you happen to be in Dubai, maybe you know this institution. These same values which I talked about, these 5 pillars, they are in place in this institution. Maybe some of you know it. It is the reference in hospitality education in the GCC countries at bachelor's level. Bachelor's level. We're also working with King Abdulaziz University and have developed their hospitality management faculty. Again, we're back to bachelors. I'd love to also be doing something in the area of vocational education, because this is where the real need is. Because we also are working with the Sagesse University in Lebanon, which is providing a lot of talented managers for the GCC countries. Lebanese students, as we know, Lebanese are very strong in the hospitality industry in the GCC countries. So to finish off, in order to tell the best stories in hospitality, we need 3 components. We need the product. This product, as we saw, will be changing. There will be new products which will be representing new types of services, new levels of services in a smaller shape, boutique hotels, lifestyle hotels, health-oriented hotels, Sharia standards, specific hotels or compatible hotels. There will be new processes because safety and security is becoming more and more important. And the way to deliver the services to these new guests, new customers, will have to be adapted. And at the end of the day, there are people, and these people definitely deserve the most of the investment for a healthy development of the hospitality in the GCC countries. Thank you very much for your attention.